evening, and I would like to introduce you today to Padma Chukka. She has more than 15 years of experience in applying technology and transformation programs. Her technical background and her ability to process information give her the ability to simplify complex concepts to execute. She's a hunter and a builder. Welcome.
Thank you, Nan. Good morning. Good morning. And hello, everyone, whoever is tuned into this podcast. I really appreciate your kind introduction, Nan.
Well, you've had several positions at IBM. Tell us a little bit about where'd you start and how did you really arrive at this spot in your career?
Long story. Ready? Fresh out of college, I eagerly began my career as a software engineer in IBM's microelectronics division at Band 6 level. I have a funny story to tell. During the interview, the manager gestured wildly and spoke about what needed to be built on the floor, leaving me confused. Since I had no experience in the microelectronics division or the manufacturing business, right? But despite my confusion, I was offered the job. Curious about what had impressed my employer, I eventually asked him, I have a nerve, who replied that it was my propensity to learn, my attitude, and my potential. He said he couldn't teach someone to be driven and determined, but he could teach technical skills like XML, Python, manufacturing, etc. After quickly settling into my role, I ran the world's first 300 millimeter semiconductor tool. That's when I came to know that what I could do. The accomplishment is not about just the code, though. It is about rallying cross-functional teams so I can run my code. At that point, my mentor recognized my potential and asked me to raise the word I should say, to speak to a manager in the software group of IBM. Though hesitant at first, I took the leap and spoke to him. I was offered a job within 15 minutes of the conversation. My new manager challenged me with tasks I never thought I could do, and he provided guidance without hovering. Under his leadership, I received recognition and opportunities, including the Worldwide Project Management Excellence Award and a spot in the Elite Next Gen program, which is like about 300 people would be in that group and groomed by senior leaders. My sponsor is retired from IBM, and he's still there for me today. Finally, my manager found me another job and said, I cannot get you more than a band 9 in this department, Padma. You need to fly. In HR words, getting to band 9 in that short period from band 6 was unheard of. But yet, my mentor never let me stop, and she continued to push me towards success, and I progressed to a client-facing professional services role and developer ecosystem as a program director. Finally, which is a band 10, by the way, finally, I set my sight to the chief of staff position, to a general manager, a position known for grooming employees for executive leadership. Prepared to discuss my IBM career, I went in and I was thrown off when he asked for my life story. I was a bit taken back, so I threw my preparation out into the window and gave him my life story, how I got into this country, and very little about IBM's career. 15 minutes into the conversation again, my gut tells me I got it, but who knows what could happen, right? So I asked him whichever direction his decision goes. I need him to tell me and give me 15 minutes to relay how well I sucked so I can learn. He laughed and said, sure. And within a couple of days, I believe, 15 minutes meeting landed on my calendar. As it turns out, sharing my personal journey and being myself showed my attitude, and I landed the job. Under the guidance of yet another exceptional leader, I was tasked with creating the financial services cloud ecosystem, something that had never been done at IBM. He laid out clear goals to achieve, and I overachieved what he asked. The sentence he said to me still rings in my head now. Some may have doubted, but I believed in you that you would kill it. His confidence that I could tackle the challenge, paired with my strategy and execution, led me to become the executive director of the financial services cloud ecosystem, a role that I play right now.
Interesting. I think you said a couple of things that will be important to people that are seeking to move up into supervisory and management positions.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you said is that what gave you confidence is that he did management without hovering.
Yes.
I thought I heard you say that. And
I did say
that, what you mean by that and how you felt that really made a difference to you.
For me, when he was there watching me grow and letting me not fail, fine-tuning me, but I never felt his breath on my throat. That is one thing that I cannot stand. So I would not want me to do to somebody else as well. It gives me a chance to fail. I would not say he didn't let me fail. He did let me take a chance to fail, but at the same time, he was able to guide me to learn fast and move forward. So that is very important. I mean, till today, I'm still quoting him. Think about it. Still today, I'm still quoting him, not to hover. And at times, I had situations where I would tell myself, what would he have done in this scenario? And that reflecting back and have that ability to fine tune what I will be doing is really helped me in my career.
So that means that you're probably passing that along to other people that you supervise.
Absolutely, no question.
And would you say that's one of the successful principles you have in management, or are there others you could share?
I have a few of them, but that's one of them, to be empower the team to create the path, right? For me, team is very important. Team is very important. That's the first and foremost customer for an employer, if you will, right? If you take care of the team, if you let them figure out, and it paves the path for innovation. If I keep telling them what to do, I cannot breathe in a way, right? I won't have more than 24/7 in my own life. So they will be empowered when I don't hover on them, and they get a chance to think through, solve the problem, and grow, right? That's the most important aspect as a leader for me to grow my team. So that's one of them that I say is a path for innovation. Empower them, empathy, and empower.
Do you have performance standards that you use in IBM?
We do have performance standards. We in my role, it's pretty much every quarter that I have to do to review their performance, and based on their performance, they'll get the incentives. So we know what to do. Remember, I was telling my leader who gave me the challenge of the financial services cloud ecosystem. He's the one, I think he was the first person in IBM career clearly laid out the goals and said, if you achieve this, this is what's going to happen, right? I believed in that kind of an approach. If we go wishy-washy on where we go, the path is going to be wishy-washy and the outcome is going to be the wishy-washy also, right? So the clarity as a leader, we put it out there with the vision and have a strategy to execute is very important. So that is what I really rely on when I have these performance type of conversations with my team. Like, this is what we're going to do in this quarter, guys. This is what we have achieved. You tell me what do we need to do more for the next quarter, right? It is a time, it's not just for them to say, you suck or you did great, right? They may have sucked for one reason that we should learn from. They may have excelled for one reason, which we should learn and re-implement again, right? What works now could work next time too. So those are the path or ways that I work with my team. Definitely.
But what do you do when you find somebody who's not performing well?
So when someone is not performing well, the first is I'm a human, right? I'm a human. Let me start from the human perspective. This guy has been performing so well until then. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the role that he is in. That's where my head goes in first. So what might have happened? Is that a personal situation? Is that a work situation? Or is it a market has changed that we did not capture? Right? Those are the questions that we should be asking instead of putting a stamp on his career and say, you didn't perform, go figure it out. Then what's my point in being there as a leader for that person, right? So asking those questions, trying to figure out what needs to be done differently for him to perform well in the next quarter is very important for me. And it is really, my team actually appreciates that so that we both work together to make things happen for the success of the team and the program, right? And the program and the company, I would say.
Are you having some of the same problems in turnover, in hiring, with people ghosting you on the interview or not showing up even though you offer them the job? Or tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing.
All of the above.
All of the above. Everybody
all
is.
of the above. Everybody is facing that, right? Everybody is facing that. It's like if anybody calls me, Padma, I have 5 minutes. Do you have 5 minutes for me to speak? I was like, oh boy, right? And oh boy, that's the thing. I did lose few people, but it's just the time for them to fly. But again, personally as a leader, if someone wants to fly, we have to let them fly. It's good for them. It's good for the business that they are in as well. If they are not happy where they are, if they think they will be learning something new that they don't get it in this job, it is good for them to fly. And I root for them, right? I root for them. And whoever left or whoever came in, whoever ghosted me, they come back and then said, Padma, this is the reason, this is what we need to be done. And then when a person leaves, I always ask the question, right? How could I change if I need to change something in myself? How could I change if I need to change something in our own business? Always valuable feedback. Always valuable feedback. So it's the business that we are in, and it's the situation. Now it is all about the big stay, right? No more great resignation. It's the big stay now. So it's going to be a different, but it's all about the cyclical experiences or cyclical behaviors that we all go through. So who knows when things will come back again and we're going to be doing the same thing. We don't know.
So am I hearing you say that the big resignation or the exit is waning and you're finding more that people are staying?
I am seeing that, yes. I'm seeing that.
There's a statistic, I think it's like either 84 or 87% say that the culture influenced their decision to leave. Do you think that's true? And is it different? Because you probably supervise a lot of people remotely, I'm guessing, with that number.
Yeah. Culture, I don't know. So let's think about this, right? In a huge river, every little ecosystem is an ecosystem. If you bring that analogy to your head, right? Company culture could be very different, and your small pod could be very different. For me as a leader, I will try to foster the culture where we work together. We lift each other up, but at the same time, the pond could get affected by other influences that I may not be able to have a control on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when in that kind of situations, I do tell the team, my team, that I'm proud of, saying, hey, if you feel a bruise on your skin, that means a bullet might have gone through my body. So let's see how strong we can stay together and be together. The people who has left me, they left for a very good reason, though, not because of the culture. They had a great opportunity. It is the time of the tech boom, and everybody is hiring. And when they have an opportunity to grow beyond where they are, and compensation, it's actually good for their families. So, as a human, as I always said, I'm a human first, then a leader next. Right, then a manager, whatever you may call it later on, but I'm a human. And as a human, I want best for my team. I want best for my colleagues. So that is where I say, go on, move on, come back whenever you want.
Now, what I find interesting is that there's 10,000 baby boomers retiring a day, which is going to leave a big gap in a lot of the managerial positions. The next generation down, Gen X, is a small generation.
Yeah.
So even though we're kind of taking from some of those, we have the other side of the coin to say we need to go further down into a generation. So the millennials are next.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, are you finding there's a difference in what millennials want from their job, want from their employer, that is different than the Gen X's and the baby boomers?
Let me think about it, how I would say, I actually like working and seeing them take care of themselves. I definitely like that aspect. When you start thinking about the self-care, like many others forgot about it, is actually creating a better environment, I would say. A better environment where people are trying to understand what the others' needs are, not just the company needs, and putting themselves first. When they put themselves first, it's the same story as the airplane, right? Put the mask on you first, and then put the mask on someone else. And at times, well, many times, baby boomers forgot about it. They didn't put their mask on. They took care of them. Next gens a little bit maybe, but millennials, we all learned to take care of ourselves a little bit.
So,
Sometimes there's a cost there, right? There will be some cost that they are the millennial-like people and Gen X's kind of people. There's like a like people is also a category there. They are the change agents, that they are changing the game here.
I find it interesting that it seems like millennials are saying that they want more flexibility, more emphasis on health and wellness, and that's what I'm hearing you say.
Yep.
Greater learning opportunities,
Yep.
opportunities for advancement, but just learning opportunities. Are you finding that same thing?
I wouldn't call that learning is associated only with the millennials, though. I would not, because I work at the company where we learn. If I was able to show my laptop to you, on the back of it, there is a little sticker says, always be learning. And
Good.
I saw that from multiple people that we have always be learning. So I wouldn't associate learning only for the millennials. We learn fast. Whoever wanted to grow in their career, whoever wanted to grow their brain cells, they will learn. It doesn't matter what that age is, if you know what I mean, right? So learning, no, I wouldn't classify that only for the millennials, but definitely health and wellness and the flexibility. And they are the people who would want to come to the office as well, right? It's not that they wanted to sit on the beach and try working there, right? They would like to come to the office. They enjoy being there. They would want to tap on the shoulders of the leaders and ask questions. So the flexibility in the sense that whenever they want, they should be able to do that. That is what they're saying. They're not saying, we don't want to come to the office from Monday to Friday. It's not what I'm hearing. They say, hey, I need in this month, I have to go take care of my mother or somebody, or I have to go for vacation, but I still would like to work. I will work part-time, hybrid work, right? So that's just right thing to do. As a leader, right thing to do, right culture to have.
How do you find the Gen Zers? And I'm thinking that what has been reported is that they get very structured about their job tasks and say, no, it's sort of like, that's not in my job description, or this is what I was hired to do, and you want me to do something over here, I'm not going to do it. And even leaving if it doesn't get done. They're still saying, no, you need to do this. This is what the company needs. But then they're leaving because they don't want to take on that additional. Are you finding that at all? No,
because I who wants to do the same thing over and over again on the piece of paper that we have given the day we join them? I would not want to.
So you're just saying they want the learning opportunities as well.
Absolutely.
And as long as it's not a very repetitive thing, I'm also saying it looks like what I'm hearing is they don't want to go outside of the boundaries of what they think is the job. You're not finding that.
I am not finding it because it's a stretch opportunity. If you're looking from the piece of paper that you are given on the day one, how are you going to learn more, right?
Yeah.
Right? How are you going to learn more? It is an opportunity that you should take on and give your best shot and learn from it so that you go on, right? Always tell my team one thing, man. What you do in the day is for your day job. You're keeping that job, right? What you learn after your day job, it could go into your evening time, you read a book or do something with your hand. That's for your future job. You're paving the path for your future job by learning this, by stretching yourself. So I would not encourage anybody. Again, I wouldn't hire anybody who doesn't have a zeal to learn, stretch themselves, right? That's my first one-on-one requirement, right? I don't care if that person does or could do everything that I laid out. If the person comes in and tell me, Padma, I don't know half of the things that you wrote, but I know I can learn, I know I can deliver, that person will get the job from me. That's how I got my jobs, So all three, if I take my early, mid, and the career now, all three jobs I was given in the first 15 minutes.
Well, that's
It's
probably because you're an impressive lady who knows a lot and is willing to learn. So let's
willing
go
to
back.
learn, yeah.
Wait, let's go back to some of your challenges. What are some of your biggest challenges that you faced in your life, and how have those challenges affected who you are today?
A very traditional family now, where I couldn't even leave the house without a male companion, regardless of his age, okay? It was suffocating and resulted in many fights with my mother. My wise mother taught me to pick my battles when I was wise enough to listen, okay? That's the phrase. When I was wise enough to listen, she told me that. Did I want to fight to bring my little cousin with me, or did I want to go and explore the world? You can choose, you can guess which one I chose, right?
Explore the world.
Of course. My father, a traveler by himself, exposed to many cultures in India. As you know, it is a melting pot. You go to the next state, that's completely a different culture. When I expressed my interest in leaving the country to spread my wings, he was hesitant to let me go off on my own. I knew I needed to fly, and I picked my battle. And I managed to get my passport in just 2 days, which was unheard of then. During those 2 days, I learned my attitude toward bias for action and how incentives work to make things happen. Now, the real biggest challenge was convincing my father to let me leave the country alone. It takes much courage to stand against him, to ask for what I want. With support from my grandfather, I stood my ground and eventually made it out with a first semester fees, a flight ticket, and a promise to my father that I would never touch my inheritance and then give back the money I took from him. My journey has been full of challenges, but I learned some valuable lessons along the way. Courage, loyalty, respect, fun no matter what, integrity, empathy, and bias toward action have served me well in both my personal and professional life. While I could write a book about my experiences as an immigrant, those core values has been the foundation of everything I have accomplished since that day.
And obviously it worked.
It worked.
Let
It
me
has to
ask
work,
you,
right? It's a determination. Right? It has to work.
let me ask you just one last question, because we've talked a little bit about future stuff and AI, of course, and chat GPT is like huge on the horizon. It's almost like having the internet startup.
Mhm.
And I wonder, you working at IBM, so you're working so much in technology.
Mhm.
What are some of your thoughts and feelings about AI, artificial intelligence?
First thought, don't be late to the party with the dish no one wants. Time is now is what I see to capture the market of AI, but have to be very careful, be responsible, and follow the ethics. We all have and must abide when it comes to the AI, man. For me, it all started. I mean, data and AI has always been the case in the technology. We solve big problems with the big data, how to mine that, analyze it, and showcase it so that we can make the best decisions with the information that we have. But today, we blink out with the world, like ChatGPT. It's already almost ready out, right? Now it is new generative AI. In with the new, that's a generative AI. But end of the day, I see many use cases in every industry. If I double click on financial services, the top three are digital transformation, fraud detection, and risk management. And digital transformation is required for the financial services to stay in the game, if you will, with businesses seeking to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and provide better customer service. By embracing the AI or generative AI is what I would like to call from now on. Businesses can create more value for their customers and stakeholders, stay ahead of the competition, and achieve long-term success. As the technology continues to evolve and mature, we can expect to see even more exciting possibilities for generative AI in digital transformation. It can improve efficiency and accuracy, personalize the customer experiences, enabling better decision making, automating the workflows. And when it comes to the fraud detection kind of a situation, it takes the data, fraudulent activity in real time, and proactively triggers systems where there is something could have been done, which you and I wanted to have it in the financial services, right? It's a fraud detection. I don't want somebody to use my credit card and bank up a $20,000 bill over there, right? And at the same time, the financial institutions has to go through the credit risk assessment. That's where AI could come in and make things faster is what I say, right? Analyzing factors like credit history, income, employment status, and then credit worthiness, and then give the credit. Otherwise, we don't want banks to fall off, right? Fall off the ground. That's where biggest problems would happen. So in conclusion, the future is bright with the potential use of AI. By leveraging the power of this advanced technology, industries can transform how they operate, analyze the data, and make decisions. I personally can't wait to see how generative AI contributes to advancing the industries, especially financial services, as it evolves and matures. It's still young now. It's still young, but again and again, I have to say, responsible. Be responsible with what you create. Be ethical with what you create. Otherwise, even if you bring that kind of a dish, even if you come to the party earlier and bring that kind of a dish, it may not fly because people are looking for the applications, the advancements with ethics and the responsibility. Otherwise, I mean, not only industries, right? Even government is looking into that situation. Biden-Kamala Harris conversations that just happened, right? So much invested in that governance to make sure any AI that is coming out of the big tech has to be adhere to those governance.
Thank you so much for all of your insights and your wonderful thoughts, whether it's on managing staff or it's on your personal background and your personal feelings about the values, in a sense, that you have and how you got there, and then your take on AI. We really appreciate you talking with us and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much, Nan. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say to the folks who are listening, I want you to know that I'm here for you, supporting your journey and encouraging you to lift other women who may not have voice or presence in the room. Let's work together to create a better, more inclusive world for everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Nan.
Thank you.